Hi. So this is the part two that no one has been asking for, and I know a lot of you may already forget what happened in part one, so previously on Symposium.
So there were 7 people at the symposium. The first speaker, it's Phaedrus. One sentence to conclude the Phaedrus speech is that love makes people brave. So let's talk about a second speaker, Pausanias. So to conclude his speech, his main idea is that there are 2 goddesses of love, and also we should love people with wisdom and virtue. So the doctor took his place and started talking. So his main idea is that we should all be temperate.
If you want to see a detailed version, you can just check out the part one. I'll put the links down below. We talk about the fourth speaker's Arghathon. So Arghathon was the host, and he thinks that everyone digressed from the subject because they wanted to praise the god love, but no one was actually doing it. Like, they were just talking about what they think about love.
That's my opinion!
He thinks that the god love is the fairest, the youngest. That's why he only hangs out with young people. And also, he is the tenderest and most flexible, so he could hug everyone in the world. And he also agrees with the previous speaker in a sense that he also thinks love has courage, virtue, justice, temperance, and wisdom. So he also thinks that all the good things in the world were inspired by the god love. So Agathon is basically a simp for the god love. After he finished his speech, everyone just clapped. It was like, wow, well said. And now it's a Socrates' turn. So Socrates is like one of those really annoying smart kid in the school, you know, like when everyone's just clapping, having fun, and he has to stand out and say,
"Wait a minute!"
So he started to judge everyone by syllogism. If you don't know what syllogism is, it's basically reaching a conclusion by making 2 assumptions. And for example, like a simp, it's someone who loves praising women, and you love praising women, so you are a simp. Socrates starts by asking Agathon a simple question. So, do you think the god love is of something or nothing? And Agathon's response was like, of course the god love is fond of something. And then Socrates just keep pushing him by asking, so do you think people only desire things that they don't have? And Agathons agree. So Socrates concluded, okay, you mentioned that love only desires beautiful things. So does that mean that his lack of beauty and therefore not beautiful? And then Agathon's reaction was like, yeah, whatever, I cannot refute you. But then Socrates' response was like, say rather, beloved Agathon, that you cannot refute the truth, for Socrates is easily refuted. If I were Agathon, I would probably punch him on the face. And then Socrates started by telling a story that he heard from a wise woman called Diotima. So Socrates used to be like Agathon, believe that love is beautiful. But then Diotima asked him the same question that he just previously asked Agathon. So Socrates was like, do you think love is foul and evil then?
How dare you!
And then Diotima said, no, love is something in between. So something that is not beautiful is not necessarily ugly. But since all gods are beautiful, so love must not be God, then what is love? So she thinks that love is something between God and man, and he is a spirit. He is like a postman connecting God and man. So Socrates then asks, who is his parent? So just like what I've mentioned, Socrates is one of those annoying kid who just come up to you and ask, do you have a dad? So Diotima continued to explain that love is a child of the god of plenty and poverty. So poverty got pregnant at Aphrodite's birthday party. So that's why love is the follower of Aphrodite. And because of his parents, love is both rich and poor and both ignorant and knowledgeable. So she then said that lovers are not seeking for the other half or want to be a whole. So basically, she disagreed with what Aristophanes has said in his speech. And she thinks that people only love unless the other half or the whole is also good. And people only love because it's good. And love is of the everlasting possession of the good. And all men will necessarily desire immortality, together with the good. That is also why human and animals breed is an act of pursuing immortality. Like, we know we would die, so let's have a baby. And then she also brought up a very important idea, and that is there are 6 ladders of love. The higher the steps, the more intellectual it is. So to be able to climb the ladder, you must understand the prior ladder thoroughly. And the first step is that love for a particular body. It's like you love Kylie Jenner. And the second step is the love for all body. And then you see beauty in all body and learns to love the differences. It's like you love everyone in the Kardashians. So the third step is love for the souls, like just what the Pausania has said, and we must want the soul. And the fourth step is love for laws and institutions. So the fifth step is the love for knowledge. Yes, get cultured. And the sixth step, which is the hardest step, because you really need to understand the other 5 steps thoroughly to reach this point, and that is love for the love itself. I have no idea what it means. So Socrates, just after finishing the story, everyone's like, wow, Socrates, so good.
Explosion.
So one very interesting point is that women had a rather low social status at the time, like in ancient Greece. A lot of people have been speculating like why Plato chose to use Diotima, this female characters, to be the wise figure in the story. I mean, like, people still did not reach a conclusion up to today. So I've been searching online and I don't think I found very valid conclusion about it. I mean, if you have your own thoughts, you can comment down below. To conclude Socrates' speech, so basically he disagreed with everyone, and he thinks that love, it's something in between, like it's both rich and poor, it's both ignorant and knowledgeable. And he also thinks that people love because it's everlasting possession of the good. And yeah, and then the 6 ladders of love, in the sense that you have to understand the first step and then you reach the second step and then to the 6 steps. That's how you really understand what is love, which is very difficult in my opinion. So after Socrates finished his speech, here comes my another favorite part of the book. That is, a guy called Alcibiades just broke in. At the time, he just sat down and then just talked to everyone. And he was the date, or like a crazy admirer of Socrates. So when he sat down, he just started spilling the tea and started to tell everyone what happened between him and Socrates. So he kind of accused Socrates for ghosting him, not responding to him, playing hard to get, but he still loved Socrates so much. It was a very, very funny part. It's like, rarely do we get exposed to the love story of philosophers, but to see how a boy keeps whining about Socrates being a poor lover is very, very funny. And I highly recommend you to read the original text. Or maybe if I have time, I will just make a video talking about the tea between these 2 people. Yeah, we will see. So that's the end of Symposium. I hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye. When Alcibiades had finished, there was a laugh at his outspokenness, for he seemed to be still in love with Socrates. I feel like I'm reading Wattpad.